I did start off with the underrates. It was Coach Bills and myself in the absence of Coach Aswat. So we turned up to the game against Broadwater with a 2 PM kickoff. Truth is, we didn't have all ID cards. All our players are of the right age, but not all of them have registered yet, which is obviously a problem. The other team didn't have it. They said play the 4 players that do have ID cards and leave the 3 on the side. So obviously we said no. The ball was pretty much in their court. They could have decided if they wanted to play or not. They had about 15 players anyway. They had plenty of players, but in the end they decided because of safety they didn't want to play the game. We've got to put aside that obviously their players are a lot bigger than us. They had a bigger squad than us. End of the day, we didn't have ID cards, so we got to hold our hands up and say we need to sort that out. And we've been trying for a while, but yeah, there's a reason for parents to believe us when we say we need ID cards to play a game. So if you haven't got the ID card stuff, over to us or get over as soon as possible, because we don't really want this happening again. Yes, I know it's never happened before in the under-8 category, but there are some teams which play by the rules. Fair play to them. They felt it was better to cancel the game and go home rather than play. So fair play. So we did play a little 5-a-side game. Good game in terms of fitness. We just done 30 minutes straight, so just get the boys moving, put them in different positions. So all in all, decent little 5-a-side game. Now under 7s, we had a 11 o'clock kickoff against Finesse Sport. Good outfit, Finesse. They tried to play football the right way, similar to us, same as last time. I think we beat them 4-3 last time, so we knew it would be a tight game. We didn't have the most ideal start in terms of personnel. Abdul Aziz couldn't make it, and obviously Mo Safraz is still out with illness, so he should be back next week hopefully. So we had 6, including Isa, who's a debutant. I thought he done very well. I thought literally the game was split. I thought the middle half an hour we were brilliant, but the first 5 minutes we were poor, and the last 5 minutes we were poor. Literally that was the game. So the first 5 minutes we went down 2-0. Managed to claw the game back in the second half. We were leading 4-2, and in the last 5 or 6 minutes we conceded 3 very sloppy goals. But I thought that middle half an hour was very, very good. We were playing against boys which are a lot bigger than us, well, most of them. So we had to change our style a little bit. We didn't stop playing our brand of football. We still did that, but it just helped the boys look up before they did anything. So rather than being able to take on a man in every opportunity, they then had to look up, which was good because it helped them. It kicked off a little bit at the end with the parents, but we sorted it out internally. The referee did give some poor decisions, that has to be said. He weren't very good, I thought, but then that could just be me being biased. But I thought it was a good game of football. They're good opposition to play, and these are the games we look forward to playing. I mean, I had some upset faces during the game and after the game. A few tears were shed by some of the players, and it shows that they don't like losing, especially when they were 4-2 up. They got a bit too complacent, and I'll take responsibility because I always want the boys to play at the back. Sometimes it's better to go a bit longer, but I did try to enforce that a little bit, so I hold my hands up. But it's the way we try to play football. And these are teams that we want to be playing, the likes of Finesse, Pro Star when they have the right age players, Kikoa, because we get to see what we're made of. It's all well and good winning 7-0 and 11-0 against St. Thomas and all the other teams that we're playing, Galatasaray, but these are the games where you get to see how good your players actually are. But I thought compared to last time, I thought we were a lot better than Finesse than we were last time. But yeah, it's a learning curve for these boys. Brilliant. Isa done very well on his debut. I thought Yusuf Pankara was top notch. I didn't want to take him off, but I think I had to because he was tiring a little bit, because he's half the size of everyone else, so physically he was exerting himself beyond what he should be. But he was brilliant. Percy obviously got his hat-trick, so he's still in and around the goals. He had a chance right at the death to equalise, but he couldn't sort his feet out quick enough, so he hit it wide. But again, we're creating chances, we're scoring goals, so there's nothing to worry about. But the likes of Mo Safraz, Percy, I think they should be moving up very, very soon into the under-8s. Because we see Abdul Rahman, we see Shai playing for the 9s now. So I've got a few more players coming up from Tech Tots, and obviously we've got players like Isa which are coming through. So I'm quite pleased, very positive. It's time to start working on some of these new players and passing the ones which are now comfortable, passing them on to the under-8s and getting it to progress even further. So I'm happy with the performance. Obviously the result didn't come our way, but I can't fault the boys. I thought they're brilliant. So good day.
Hi guys, Coach Safi with under 9s. Played against Triangles, lost 5-0. About summarising the game, tough game, honestly, for the boys especially. Came up against a stronger team, a lot more aggressive, a lot bigger than them as well. I think probably one of the best games or better teams that they're going to play against in the league. With the under-9s, 2 losses in a row from winning a few. Just hoping that it's not going back to the start of the season when we were losing a lot of the games. I think there's a lot of improvement the boys can do, and obviously there's going to be improvement needed in every single team. But there's a lot of improvement for the under-9s, and we need to literally get grafting now, because they got a few wins, got a bit happy, and then 2 tough teams, Kikoa and Triangles, which I think brought them back to earth basically. So we need to work out who plays where on the pitch, especially have a little shuffle about, and then finally make a decision on what our solid squad is and what positions they're playing. Because it's changing and chopping. I think it's been a bit difficult for the boys. But yeah, on to next week. Hopefully we get a win next week. Just take it from training. See you later.
Under 12s, Coach Adam. Result today, we lost 6-4. We stayed with all 4 goals. Just an overview of the game. First 40 minutes, couldn't fault it. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't really ask for any more. The players fought. It was a competitive game. Good opposition. Saw grit from players that I hadn't seen grit from before. Isa, brilliant in the middle of the park. Hamza, brilliant. Adam was very good today as well. Benny, brilliant at centre back. Up to about 40 minutes in, last 20, absolutely fell apart. Didn't help that we only had 1 player on the bench, so we couldn't really make too much of a change to the midfield. But yeah, I mean, just individual mistakes, just stuff that it should not be happening at this level. Playing across goal, straight to the striker, open goal. The amount of times I had to shout during the game not to let the ball bounce. Just silly errors cost us the game today. It's really frustrating. It's good in the sense that it gave the boys a lesson. They can't be complacent. Some of the boys really unfit, got to the last 20 and just looked out of it. The same players that I've just been praising, completely flat in the last 20. Just sort of fell out of the game. And there's not really much else to be said on that. Individual mistakes cost us the game today. I mean, what can you do as a coach? You can't really. We tried to change we can make simple sort of changes. We've lost a few players, and I wouldn't even say that we missed those players today, because we were 4-2 up, game in control. We played really well, and just silly mistakes that I just don't know what to say, because I mean, we just let the game slide. Maybe it's because we're used to smashing teams every week. We just get complacent the minute we take the lead, and we all fell apart. We got punished, and there's not really much else to say on that. And that's it really. It's a good lesson for the boys. You go 4-2 up, you got to keep your focus, because up to that point they were brilliant, and that's it really. Individual mistakes cost us the game. There's a few players in there that need to buck up now, cut out the mistakes in their game, and there's some players that just need to, if you're not going to get involved in the game, there's no point being on the pitch. So it's as simple as that. They probably know who they are. I mean, there's players in the game where I couldn't even, if they weren't in the game, wouldn't have even realised that they weren't even in the game. So, I mean, yeah, that's it really. Individual mistakes, players not stepping up when it's most vital, and that's it. We can only go forward from here, learn from our mistakes, and yeah, we'll carry on.
Right guys, Coach Muz here. Just got back from match week 11, r77 15-0, beating Wapping Warriors. Sammy got 5, Kasim got 3, Adam and Parmeja both got 2, Jeff, Rayan and Asad all 3 of them got 1 each. So good scoreline all round. We know Walthamstow won 15-0 or 15-1 against St Thomas early in the day, so the main aim was just to catch up in terms of goal difference. Sent the boys out today. It was a bit different. We had one eye on the Colchester development game, which you'll hear more about later this week. So we're playing them on Friday, so some of the boys were asked to play some new roles today. Ones to mention, man of the match I think was Jeff for me. Jeff or Kasim was really close. So Kasim played centre back first half, went up front second half and got his hat-trick, so well done Kasim. And Jeff played centre midfield or number 10 first half, then went back to his normal position of left wing second half and he was excellent as well. So shout out to the boys today. Hamza Aziz did really well right back as well first half. Yeah, it was an all-round good performance. Got some goals, played some good football, controlled the game absolutely. Kind of exploited their high line today. Yeah, it's another win. I think that's what, 3 on the bounce now since that disappointing game just before we broke. And yeah, it's just stacking up the 3 points. I seem to say that every week. Just getting the 3 points on the board every week, making sure we're in a good position performance-wise. We're just waiting for that Walthamstow game to come, so we're just waiting for them to slip up. And yeah, Colchester on Friday will be a good test for the boys. Hopefully it's on a better service than what we saw today, because that kind of limited our play, keeping the ball on the carpet, which you guys know we love to do. And yeah, we go again on Tuesday and on Friday. Bring it on.
Right guys, let's sum up this day. It's been a long day. I'm freezing, but that is life. Let's get on with it. Bit of a bad day in terms of results, and start with the first few games. So under 10s, lost 2-1 to Globe. Globe a good team. Surprised they played Blue League for the first half of the season. They're definitely not a Blue League side. They've got a goalkeeper who's surreal. Made some great saves. But under 10s looked... I know I said this last week as well, and I thought it might be a blip, but from what I'm hearing from Coach Ethan, it looks like they don't want to play football anymore. Maybe they're bored of winning. I don't know what it is with them. But that kind of attitude is not on, not at this club. Got a group of winners all across every age group. So, it's hard to, when you're at the top, the only place you go is down, and at the moment the under 10s are dipping. So they've got to just find their mojo, and they just got to start they got to start punishing teams the way they used to. It's not like they haven't got the caliber of player, but even those players that they've not hit their maximum. Do you understand? Even last year or the year before, they were at the top of their game, but their game can evolve as individuals, and then as a collective that will naturally evolve them. So Ethan, I don't really blame Coach Ethan personally, because you can't dictate a game from the touchline. It's about the players that are on the pitch. There are times where managers make mistakes, and that's fair, but when the players down tools, yeah, that's not on. So that's got to be addressed, and that's got to be addressed quickly. Under 7s lost 5-4 to Finesse. To be fair, it's a 5-side game of football. The last time we played Finesse are a good team. They're well organised, strong, try to play, and because of great individual players at that age group. You know what you're going to get with them. They wear their heart on their sleeves, and so do we. And that's what the game of football was. It was a tough game, tough tackling. There were some bad tackles and some decisions the referee could have dealt with a bit better. But at the end of the day, the last time we played them, we were losing 2-0, and we did the comeback. Today we were winning 4-2, and they did the comeback. So I think across the board, I don't think it's the worst result in the world. Losing wise, performance wise, I thought the under 7s battled, and they were very, very good. Obviously, we had the incident after the game. Now, this is going to sound a bit rich coming from me, but there's a reason why we as coaches like to take the responsibility on the touchlines for the kids. reactions from the parents. I get it. I'm not for 1 second saying I don't understand. I completely understand, but at the same time, there's a line, and that we can't cross those lines. I mean, you won't see the coaches cross those lines as well. Talking is one thing, shouting is another thing, but being physical is completely is football at the end of the day. And I know tempers can flare and the rest of it. I don't accept the referee speaking the way he did as well, but at the same time, we need to, as a collective, understand that some of that behaviour is not on. We will address it on Tuesday with the parent, but let's just try and cut that side and let the coaches be the coaches all the way up until the kids go home, because if one parent gets involved and 10 parents get involved, then it can become a bit of a mess. So we don't really want that, especially not from a club perspective. And the Nines lost 5-0, and to be fair, they were poor. Again, another team who look like they've down tools, and just the basics that are not getting done. And Coach Saf and Coach Osvaldo, who's now coming, Coach Daniel, they've got to address these things quickly, because you don't want to go on a losing run, and I can see that happening with that team. But those players are good enough, so just got to get them back to the basics really, and just keep working. Under 8, obviously Coach Moore has addressed what happened. I think as a management, we put our hands up, and we have to put our hands up because it's our responsibility at the end of the day. We don't deliberately be unorganized. A lot of teams don't ask for ID cards, especially when the players are that little. They're not exactly the biggest players in the world. I understand as Zayn, for example, checking his card and his card was intact. So we had the cards for the players who normally be asked for, but some players who maybe have come late or whatever it is, we haven't got their stuff, and Broadwater decided to play by rules. I mean, you can look at it 2 ways. They brought all their kids there for a football match, and then they let them play, and at the same time, you know, it's well within their right to do so. So a bit of a tricky one. We get fined for it, and this week we're just going to spend some time sorting all that stuff out. We are putting Moshe, for those who know him, he's part of the under 8 setup. He's part of the management team. A lot of people don't know that, so I'm putting it out there right now. And he's going to be responsible for just simple stuff like code of conduct and player registrations and stuff like that. So I'm sure he'll be on people's back this week and in the coming weeks to get everything sorted, so we don't have these kind of issues again. If we do have to go to a game with just 5 players because we haven't got kids registered, then that's what we're going to do, because we don't want the same incident as we did today. But apologies for the guys whose stuff we've got, and we let you down today, so we can only apologize for that. And the 12s lost 6-4, which is a bit unlike the under 12s because they don't really lose games and they always batter teams. Yeah, I think there were some lessons to be learned. Obviously they're playing without Assad, they didn't have Kira, and they didn't have Leita and Randy, so they have a few players missing. But at the same time, this is where the rest of the players have to step up and show why they should be in the team. And again, you can't be passers-by. You know, it's easy to be part of a 16-1 win when 2 individuals or 3 individuals carry the entire team, but when those individuals are not about, kids or players have to take responsibility. And you know, sometimes we'll say it again, getting 4 goals, I don't think there's much more you can ask from him, but everybody else, he's got to be better. He's got to take more responsibility. And from what I hear from Coach Adam, there's a case of boys being unfit, which I just can't understand. We're in mid-January, so the boys should definitely not be unfit at this stage. And if they are, they need to have a good hard look at themselves and realize that they need to sort that out. And that's on them, because we're very firm in what we do. we're about the basics, we're about the technical side. We don't really focus on the fitness side. The fitness should come from the individual. So get out there and get running and get swimming and do the rest of it, because if your fitness isn't up to scratch, then this is what will happen in the last 20 minutes of the game. You'll throw it away. And the 14s, they won 15-0. We've got one eye on Friday, and we had one eye on Friday right from the beginning. We got Colchester United development side on Friday for the under 14s. So there were a few tweaks. There were players playing out what would be out of their normal position, but it's not abnormal. These boys can do jobs, and what we don't want them to do is just become comfortable in their position. You know, I thought Hamza Aziz was great at right back. Kasim is unreal. I don't care where you play him. He played the first half at centre half, and it was quality. And then he played the second half up front and he scored a hat-trick. So credit to the boy. He's given us a proper dilemma, because we've seen him play in the midfield, and he's quality there. He's quality at centre half, and he's a good centre forward as well. So he's given us a little bit of a headache, but I'm sure me and Moz will get it right for Friday. Yeah, I thought the boys who came on to the pitch got full second halves. Boys who probably don't get enough game time, but they did well as well. So we've got 18 or 19, or something like that, 19, 20 players, and they all absolutely quality. I can't fault any of them. When they play well, and it's difficult for us. It really is. I can't stress that enough. As a management team, especially under 14s and across all age groups, it's difficult for us to give every single person fair game time. This is football at the end of the day. We do our best. We take into consideration training. We take into consideration the ability of the player. We take into consideration the position the player plays. It's about the team at the end of the day. We knew Wolverhampton had won 15-1 before our game started, so we just betted their result 15-0. So we'll take that extra goal in terms of goal difference if it goes down to it. But we got Colchester on Friday, so we're gonna have 2 games in 3 days basically. Yeah. Plus the Saturday training session, so 3 days of football, literally. So there will be rotation, but our eyes on Colchester. It's a good opportunity for the boys. We're not going there for the result, but obviously performance, it breeds results. So we're going to try our best to get something there, but at the same time we're going to try and play well and try and give these boys that opportunity to show themselves to whoever may be watching at the time. So good luck to them on Friday. We'll be there supporting them and trying to do our best. So yeah, it's not been a great week, but at the same time there's always positives. So I'm going to look at it with glass half full rather than glass half empty, and onwards and upwards we go. And if you guys ain't already listen to the podcast. We're going to have some fun, some good subjects coming up. So yeah, get involved as well. So yep, peace. See you next week.